Hi, so this is video number 10. It's the 8th of January 2016 and it's also Feedback Friday. So today what I want to talk about is what was my intention when I committed at the beginning to doing 10 videos? What have I learnt from it? What's worked for me? And to ask you some questions that could help you find out what works for you. So first of all, what was my intention? My intention was to get myself into flow of doing videos. I was aware that I was wanting to do them. I kept saying I was going to do them. I also know that when I talk about the stuff that's really passionate to me, it helps me get some inspiration for writing the book. And I wanted more people to hear what it is I've got to say, because I believe that there are at least 20 people sat there, if not billions of people sat there right now with a fantastic story to tell, that are not out there selling themselves in the way that would really work, because they don't have the faith and the belief in their own story. They don't really believe it, and they're either it's their inner critic is saying that's not right, or external critics going, are you sure you should do that? And it's usually your loved ones next around you who don't perhaps know anything much about business, and they don't want to see you upset. And whilst you're growing your business and you're getting into sales and you're stepping out of your comfort zone, there are going to be times when you're going to come home perhaps in tears or upset or annoyed or frustrated, and their immediate response is to try and take you away from the pain rather than nurture you through it. And I wanted to get better at videos, because I believe that I can't, not everybody can afford to work with me, not everybody has the time, not everybody can get to me, but everybody really, I'm on a mission to conquer sensitivity to criticism. I'm got a real determination to eradicate fear of failure and feelings of guilt, because I've discovered some really simple stuff that if I'd known it when I was about 6 years old, could have made such a big difference to the way that I do myself and how I live and how I show up in the world. And it has made a huge difference to the way that I promote my business and the way that I attract business to me and how I live my life with my family and friends. So my intention at the beginning was to make sure that I got out of my own way. So what's worked is saying it's 10 days, but I want to talk to you about why it's worked, and the reason is because I know how I do planning, I know how I do time, and every time I looked at what the gurus were saying, you have to be consistent, do 2 or 3 a week, and you have to do them at the same time, or 1 a week, or 1 a month, but whatever, choose a time and be consistent. And whilst I agree in consistency, I also agree that if you show up and be yourself authentically, you'll attract people who like that. So right here, right now, on this video, there'll be people out there going, oh, thank goodness for that. There is somebody out there that is making money in business, that is happy and has got a work-life balance. There is somebody who's saying there's a different way to do it. But what I also want to say to you is that that's just my different way, and that's now just adding another scenario around it. But what you really need to be doing is trust yourself. So if you have to do videos, if you have to do blogging, if you have to show up at networking, if you have to do status updates, if you want to write a book, whatever it is that you're thinking you would really like to do, or you'll hear your little voice going, oh, we ought to do that, the really important thing is you do what works for you. So I chose 10 days because I can commit to something 100% if I know when it's going to finish. So even when I was at circuit training last night, I can do the exercise that's absolutely pushing me to my limit, as long as the circuit training person's counting me down and going 20 seconds to go, because I know how far I've got to go. So if you're going to be outside your comfort zone, you have to do it for 10 days. But also for my family to support me. They've known that I'm committing to these 10 days. And so when I say to them, look, can everyone get out of the front room a minute? Because that's where I am right now. Can you get out? So I can do my video for 2 or 3 minutes? They're going, yeah, mum, because they know what I'm doing and how long I'm doing it and why it matters. I can get their support. So doing it over 10 days was important for me. Doing it when it felt right for me. So not doing it just to satisfy doing it at a certain time, because sometimes I was too tired to do it. So I've done this one at 6:30 in the morning. I did one at 9:45 at night with my hair wet. So doing it and just being able to show up as myself, that was really important. So that's worked. So I want to leave you with the thought, whereabouts would you be doing your videos? Because one of the reasons that I was struggling is most of my videos before were done in the workshop room. And so you've seen some of the videos with the turquoise picture in the background. But I'm actually supporting a friend who's staying with me, who's going through divorce, and so she's using the workroom as her bedroom. So whilst we pack it all away when I've got clients in and we open the room back up again, the reality is that to do that spontaneously isn't easy. So part of my excuse for not doing it was because I couldn't be in my room. So I had to find a different space, and a lot of that was about not worrying about what you guys were thinking and feeling about the environment behind me. So again, I think about for you is where's the right space for you to be able to work at your best, whether it's to do videos, whether it's blogging, writing, making sales calls, just generally creating stuff for your business. Because space really does matter. And I think the other thing I've learned is that to have a really good, having my support network around me has been vital, because I've had people come back to me and say things like, well, I just spoke to yesterday, who's avidly watching the videos and is writing down stuff. She said, I was listening to it and I thought, I'm going to learn about planning, and then you go, oh, and you mention your sales thing, you mention about the actual event that's coming up, and they're like, oh, I realise it's a sales thing. And she said, that's not a bad thing. But what was really interesting for me is to be able to get that feedback, because actually what I really want to be able to do is to give people more information, get access to this thinking, because it'll make a difference to their lives. And if they need more help, I want them to know where to get it. So that is why I mention the links. That's why I say how you can find out more about me and what I do, because the truth is, any video you watch, and this is probably the thing I want to pass on, is any video you watch that says this is what you need to do and this is how you do it, that's just how that other person does it, and it doesn't mean it's going to be easy for you to do it. So I have an obligation in my videos to say, I'm going to share with you what I've learned today. I hope by just talking and talking from the heart about what's going on for me will inspire you, but I'm in the business of really listening to you and asking questions about what's happening for you, what you want to have happen, and reflecting that back so that you get clarity and you have confidence in your next best step. And I just think it's criminal for me not to tell you, if you're getting a sense that I may understand the situation you're in and I could help you, why wouldn't I tell you how to find out more information? So that's the essence of it. So what have I learned from the 10 days is that I do love doing videos. I've also been mentioned 2 or 3 times by people who know me well that think I should be doing Periscope and having more of a live interaction. And I have yet to look into that. At the moment, this is what feels comfortable. This is what feels possible to talk to you and share stuff, and hope that that's going to inspire you. But I've also ended up getting clarity. So what I want to talk about is there's the word clarity here. So I'm going to have a day off tomorrow. I really need to spend time with my family. Not need, I want to spend time with my family. And I'm also going to be doing the all the PowerPoints and the emails ready for the 21-day program that's starting on Monday. So I'm going to have some time off. And then on Monday, so I'm going to take Saturday and Sunday off. And then on Monday, I'm going to start, and I'm going to do some videos again, which I want to share with you, because I have a philosophy around clarity. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that now, and I hope you're going to subscribe to the YouTube channel and wait for the videos to come out on Monday, because I'm going to start another block of 10, and this time I'm going to be talking about how to set yourself up for clarity, because all communication, all selling, all getting your story out there, asking your partners for the support you need, comes down to 3 things: clarity of what you want, confidence to ask for it, and then ensuring you're asking the right person for the support. And often what we're doing is asking the wrong people. So it's about changing the way that you create support for yourself. And often we try and expect our partners to be everything we need, and they're not the right support network for us. We need to get it from other areas. And so over the next series of videos, I'm going to be sharing with you some of those tips. But if you want to be more engaged with us, obviously join the program, because I'll be putting the videos in there, but we'll also be, as facilitators and coaches, will be available for our clients to discuss it in more detail. Hope that's helpful. So I'm going to talk about clarity on Monday. Have a fabulous weekend. Please take a moment now and celebrate with me. Tell me what you've been doing this week that's worked for you, what you've had to go at. If someone's criticised you, if somebody's wound you up, told you that, that's not the right way to do it, I just say to you, trust, just for a minute, just check in with yourself and just think, what is it that you think? What do you want to have happen? Does it work for you? Trust yourself. Because if something really hits you badly with the feedback, if you get an emotional kick, you know, I remember when people used to criticise me before, I used to be, on the outside people thought I was taking it really well, but inside I was dying. And I used to get home and I'd be sobbing. And what I've discovered over the years is either that person was really important to me and I was seeking their approval and I wanted them to like me, and I felt devastated, and I didn't realise that I could upset people and they could still love me. So when I realised people could still love me and I could still annoy them, that was quite a relief. But I also discovered that sometimes it's because you already know you shouldn't have done it. Your inner critic, your little warner voice had said you don't do it, and now someone outside of you externally is also confirming that it wasn't a good idea. So you already knew personally that it wasn't right, and it's just like really annoying that someone else is telling you what you already know. So that's why it can vibrate and cause the emotional reaction it does. So I hope that what I can do and have done over the last 10 days is if you get curious about, you know, what you need to do to plan to work, learn and live at your best, but also now starting to get really curious about the criticism and how you feel about it when you receive it and what you can do about it, because you can control how you react to the criticism of others, and you can certainly learn to manage the critic in your head by the way that you question and listen to it in the future. So on that note, I hope you're going to have a really fun-filled weekend, free of any pressure, and you can really enjoy yourself and then hit the road running Monday. That's, of course, assuming that you take the weekends off. Maybe you work best at the weekends and you take Monday to Friday off, whatever that might be for you. But a particularly long video today. What would be really useful is if you could put a thing below actually and tell me, was it too long? Because I know all the rules out there that it should only be 2 or 3 minutes, and now I've talked for 12. So have a great week.